You have tuned into WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artists, and this is Big C in the morning. This is the Friday morning show that starts your Friday morning right in your weekend early. So, yeah. How are you all doing today? I hope you are all doing swell on this Friday morning. It's September the 18th, 2020, and oh boy, we're like three-fourths of the way from 2021, so ooh, it is lit, fam. Yeah, kind of. But anyways, we have some topics to talk about, and oh boy, do we have some topics to talk about. As you can see, I got a new hat. Well, it's not really new, but it's new to you since the first time you're probably seeing me in a new hat. It's Ohio State's national championship back in 2014 when we won the first ever college football playoff, and I have to say I am truly proud of that. Truly, truly proud of that. Anyways, yeah, we got some topics to talk about, and yeah, sadly, we got to talk about the Buckeyes and the Big Ten because yeah, it has to be talked about. And you were like, Colton, you talked about the Big Ten and the Buckeyes for about I don't know 3 or 4 shows. Calm down about the Buckeyes. And you know what? I will calm down about the Buckeyes because guess what? We're playing some football, people. Yep, the Buckeyes are going to play some football along with the 13 other Big Ten teams. So, yeah, all Big Ten teams are going to be in for the college football season. So, yep, the Big Ten presidents unanimously voted to bring back football and possibly maybe all the other fall sports, but we're gonna stick with football because football is the superb fall sport here. So yeah, and from sources, they're gonna run an 8 game season or possibly an 8+1 season. So what I read about the 8+1 season, Barry Alvarez, who used to be the head football coach at Wisconsin, who is now the athletic director, he said that the 8+1 football season is most likely to happen. Um, he said that all the Big Ten teams are going to play 8 games, and then they're going to play one additional one before the Big Ten championship. So let's take Ohio State for example. Ohio State would be playing all their Eastern Division rivals, and then of the two teams from the West Division. So all the teams in the East and West divisions are going to play all those teams that are in their division, and then two out of their division. And then after those 8 games are played, they're probably going to play one more with the leader of the East going up against the leader in the West. Then second in the East goes against the second in the West, basically to get a um final standings for the Big Ten championship. And we got a comment here already. Amani, hey, she says, hey Amani, or it's Imani. I learned to say your name because of Philip. So Imani, thank you for tuning into the show. It's great to hear from you. So yeah, um, yeah, great to hear from you. All right, so yeah, back to the story on football. Um, basically, first place in the East, first place in the West go against each other, and then second place in the East goes against second place in the West, and so on and so forth. I think that 8+1 system is pretty neat. But if Ohio State would have to verse a West team twice in the regular season, like one of those East teams could play somebody from the West twice. Like the same team from the West they already played twice. Like what if Ohio State like I don't know beats Wisconsin if we ever play Wisconsin? What if we beat Wisconsin in the regular season and then all of a sudden we go up against them in the +1 game to get the final standings for the Big Ten champion to set up the Big Ten championship. and then all of a sudden we verse Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship. That's a problem. I have a that's like a big football problem. I have a problem with. And we got another comment from Imani. She says, "My friend says thanks for the info. Lol, he's a guy. Glad I could help here, Imani. Really glad I can help. I'm always informative, and I'm always on the case for news and stuff, and specifically entertainment news, sports news, and maybe a little local news, but who knows? If something is like a breaking story, I can find it. But back to football. Yeah. Again, that A+1 season, it seems a little flawed, but I don't know. It could be good. It could be good, or it could not, or it can't be good. But if we verse like Wisconsin 3 times during the season, it'd be weird. It'd be so weird. Like seriously, Ohio State last season went up against Wisconsin twice, and that was normal. It's sometimes normal for people from the East Division and West Division to meet up twice. It's perfectly normal, but sometimes when you just go overboard on it, like you verse them 3 times this season, and maybe 4 times if you get matched up with them in the bowl game, but we haven't seen that in a long time probably. So yeah, I just don't see us versing Wisconsin. So yeah, and there hasn't been a schedule release yet. But the Buckeyes and all the rest of the Big Ten are scheduled to play on October 24th, so that's enough time for them to possibly get into the playoffs. And besides, the playoff committee says they're not gonna release their final standings until like late in December, which gives the Buckeyes plenty time to make a statement here. And I do believe that the Buckeyes are going back to the playoffs, back-to-back playoff appearances, because yesterday Shaun Wade, one of the top defensive backs in the Big Ten and probably all of college football, decided to opt back in to Ohio State. This comes after, Big Ten was like holding up things, and then the dominoes started to fall. Like Wyatt Davis, one of the best offensive linemen in the Big Ten and on our team, he opted out, and then Shaun Wade opted out. But then after the Big Ten released a statement saying, "Hey, we're coming back. Don't get scared, people." Then Wyatt Davis and Shaun Wade opted back in. So basically, the dominoes fell, and then they brought themselves back up again, which is kind of insane. But if you look at it, it seems like it's a miracle. Like there truly is a God. There is a God. There's a God in this world. I'm trying to act like what's his name? Jim Ross from the WWE. By God, there's a God. He has that like rough redneck accent, but yeah. And I saw another comment from Imani. She says, "Lol." Yes, lol. Lol, 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 lol. But anyways, yeah. Big Ten football back. Buckeyes team is now fully loaded again after we almost lost two of our best players. And honestly, I was a little scared. If they just said we are going to continue to be opting out, I would be scared. Because if you don't have if you don't have multiple, if you don't have all of your best players playing, you will have a terrible season. Just a terrible, terrible season. And I feel like this reminds me of that one time. Cris Carter, famous wide receiver for Ohio State, and Imani says laugh out loud. Yep, I know what laugh out loud is. Lol is laugh out loud. Yeah, I'm laughing out loud here. That was pretty bad. I apologize. But yeah, back to the thing on what I was talking about. My thought. Chris Carter, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Fame wide receiver, and he played for the Buckeyes under Earl Bruce, from 1984 to 1987. And the thing is, after the Cotton Bowl, which Chris Carter played in, he took some money from an agent, or he signed with an agent, because I think Chris Carter wanted to come back to play for Ohio State. And when he signed with that agent, he was like, I think he either signed with an agent or took money from an agent. And after that, it made him ineligible to play his senior season. So yeah, and then in the '87 season for the Buckeyes, they failed to win the Big Ten, and then after that, Earl Bruce was fired. So yeah, basically, when you lose good players to, like, say the NFL or during a pandemic, you're obviously going to do terribly. And I think that Buckeye team went like 5-4 or 6-4 or 6-4-1, I don't know. But that '87 Buckeye team was terrible. And actually, Earl Bruce got fired before the final game of the season, which was against that team up north. But yeah, it just goes to show you, if you lose your best players, you're obviously not going to do well. So it's best to have your best players. And also, a little funny news, that team up north, they lost their quarterback. He opted out. He's like, "Oh, we're coming back, and Ohio State's got all their players. Nope, I'm out of here. Bye-bye. See ya." That's exactly what happened. Michigan's QB was so scared, he opted out. And he's also transferring. That makes it even funnier. But yeah, that's enough how I got. I'm tongue tying myself. But that's enough for the Big Ten. We're gonna switch to another football thing. So yeah, this topic's basically all about football here in Ohio. Because guess what? We're gonna talk about now the Browns and the Bengals. And oh boy, their seasons are off to a great start. So we're gonna talk about what happened last Sunday and what happened last night. So let's start with last Sunday. Browns, my God, they got destroyed by the Ravens. They got smacked. And also, I made a TikTok saying, "Oh yeah, the Ravens are going down." And then the Ravens beat the Browns 38-6. But it did give me 35,000 views on TikTok, so I'm TikTok famous somehow, some way, I don't know, but yeah. Browns got destroyed by the Ravens. Our old field goal kicker, Austin Seibert, could not hit any field goals, and he couldn't even kick the extra point. When the Browns scored a touchdown, he missed the extra point. Like, you can't be this trash right now. I gotta find out where he went to college. Like, seriously, Austin Seibert, seriously, he was just terrible. Just really, really terrible. And Oklahoma, he was from Oklahoma and he missed those field goals? Oh my God. My God. But that's okay. We waved him off, and wave means we basically kicked him out of the team. And then the Browns, after that game, signed former Chicago Bear kicker Cody Parkey. Yeah, the double doinker. The double doinker is now on the Browns. So yeah, but the thing is, the Bengals weren't the only ones having special teams problems. I mean, the Browns were not the ones having special teams problems. The Bengals were also having some of those problems. Because guess what? The Bengals game was a little bit slow. So basically, Joe Burrow ran in for his first touchdown, and then all of a sudden, they kicked field goals. I think, didn't they? Well, it was like the score in the fourth quarter was like 16-13. So there had to be like 2 field goals right there. So the Bengals kicker had to go for a field goal to tie it up, and he shanked it wide right. Oh wait, it's showing left here, so I'm gonna go wide right. He shanked it wide right, and he pulled his hamstring. So not only did you miss the field goal, you also pulled your hamstring and you lost the game. Talk about 3 L's for Cincinnati that day. That is crazy. And as a Browns fan, I must say this. So yeah, shanked it, pulled his hamstring, and he's out. So yeah, and then Thursday comes, and here's some breaking news I have for you guys. The kicker we waived on, Austin Seibert, he signed with the Bengals. Well, this is getting interesting. So yeah, Thursday Night Football, and oh boy, was it crazy. I mean, they played better than, last Sunday. Because they actually got their mindset together. They got their minds together and came up with a great plan. And they won. So yeah, Nick Chubb, he got a touchdown. OBJ got a touchdown. A lot of players got a touchdown, I think. And that's pretty good. Now, a lot of people say, oh, the Browns just got that win because the Bengals are trash. But, hey, the Bengals are putting up a pretty good fight. I mean, they got some weapons on defense. Like, bring big, strong defensive men. But the thing is, their offensive line is probably what killed them. Because I know they were slacking because Joe Burrow got sacked by the Browns defense. So yeah, Joe Burrow was playing, he met the Browns defense, he got sacked. Pretty hilarious. And besides, I was a Joe Burrow fan until he left Ohio State. I honestly wish I could root for him for LSU, but if you root for LSU, you basically lost some respect. Because honestly, you should only root for one team. Even though a player like transfers from your favorite team, you shouldn't, do that. You shouldn't root for the player transferring. So, just saying, as a professional football fan. So, yeah. Saw here that Kareem Hunt got a touchdown. That's pretty nice. 2 touchdowns for Chubb. Baker threw 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a total of 219 yards. But Joe threw for 316 yards and 3 touchdowns. So Joe may have won the quarterback battle here, but the points obviously speak for themselves. So yeah, Browns are obviously better. Ooh, Kareem Hunt's got 2 touchdowns. Wow. Lots of touchdowns. And yeah, a lot of people thought the Bengals were going to come back, but nope. They failed. They failed to come back. And the Browns won their first game of the season, their home opener, 35-30. A great day for Cleveland and a great day for everybody. And so, Cleveland now takes the lead in the Battle of Ohio. That means we're 1-0 in the Battle of Ohio, and we're looking to sweep. Sweep for the first time since the 2018 season. Because the 2019 season, we tied. It was 1-1. But I want to go 2-0. I really want to sweep the Bengals again. Because, honestly, I feel like the Bengals will win a game this year, but if they don't get a game plan in place, then they're obviously going to go 0-16. But, and this is a big but if they win a few games, they actually might have a chance to have a winning record. They might not go to the playoffs, but they might have a winning record. And honestly, if the Bengals do terrible this year, I feel like Zach Taylor is going to be out of a job real quick. And Zach Taylor is the coach for the Bengals. So yeah. But Kevin Stefanski for the Browns, head coach for the Browns, I feel like he is going to be sticking around for a little longer. I think he will win a few games this year. The Browns might go 8-8 or maybe 9-7. That's my personal guess. But we'll just have to wait and see, people. We just have to wait and see. I mean, a lot of football, a lot of NFL football has a lot of shocking upsets, so we'll just have to wait and see. Also, not typically Browns related or Bengals related, but it is NFL related. Joe Buck, who's announcing NFL games for Fox Sports, he was the recipient of a Pro Football Hall of Fame award. I don't know what the award is called, but I will check to see. It was some weird name I couldn't pronounce. Like, the guy speaking, I couldn't tell what he was saying. So, oh yeah, the Pete Rozelle Radio Television Award winner. So yeah, Joe Buck got the Pete Rozelle Radio Television Award from the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. And basically what that is if you get that award, you're basically in the Hall of Fame. So Joe Buck is going to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame as a sportscaster. Now Joe Buck, if you haven't heard his voice, you may have heard of his name. He does the sportscasts for the NFL games for Fox Sports. He also calls some baseball games, especially in the playoffs during the MLB postseason, and he also does the World Series. So yeah, and his father, Jack Buck, he actually earned that award back in 1996. So that's a little fun fact. Joe Buck is going to join his father in the Football Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, as sportscaster inductees. And they're the first ever father-son combination to do this. And that's pretty incredible. That is actually pretty incredible. So, congratulations to Joe Buck on getting into the Hall of Fame. And maybe someday I'll be in the Hall of Fame. Because I want to be in the Hall of Fame. I want to be in any type of Hall of Fame. If there's a place called Hall of Fame for anything, I want to be in it. Especially for bowling. Because I am a bowler. And I'm a really good bowler. So please, America, put me in the Hall of Fame. But yeah. But anyways, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about... we're going to talk about the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. So yeah, you guys don't want to miss this because I got some facts for you. So yeah, we're going to take a break and we'll talk about that after the break. So this is Big C in the Morning on WUDG Underground Columbus, home of the Unsigned Artist. And now for some good old The Dog. So here's Go and Try Me featuring Be Calm and Nobi from The Dog. We'll be right back.
Be calm. Hey, 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 hey. They talking real reckless. For real. And we ain't having that. Put an end to it. Put an end to it. Yeah. Tell 'em. Work. Dog.
Heard you been talking, but ain't saying nothing. My name in your mouth, dog, like you want something. So you made a little money, now you started fronting. You done forgot who you talking to, now you straight up bugging. Hold up. I choose the bruise or the flat line. With this mistake, dog, will be a second time. Better call a preacher if you want forgiveness. Cause you crossed the line when you started tripping. Got goons you don't know of, gorillas that hang about. By the time you even see them, too late, lights out. Before the goons, there was just me. Before there was a squad, there was just me. Before the fame and lights, there was just me. Don't even need a crew, I get my own hands dirty. Don't ever get it twisted, came from the streets. And if you got something to say, then say it. So you wanna be the boss? Go and try me. You wanna be the man? Go and try me. Oh, you wanna take it there? Go and try me. So you think you ain't scared? Go and try me. So you wanna be the boss? Go and try me. You wanna be the man? Go and try me. So you wanna take it there? Go and try me. Oh, you think you ain't scared? Go and try me.
Be calm, it's never easy being me. When I was younger, all I knew was the streets. Hustle all day without a college degree. Now that I'm grown, I see things differently. The fundamentals of power's potential is quite simple, just be unique. Aim to reach at the crack of your peak. Life is like a peach, you can never know if it's bitter or sweet. So I keep my feet planted, me and the dog still standing. Taking nothing for granted, this was never handed to me. Thinking you better go and try me, trying to copy, you just a clone. Originality is how you rise on your own. You can't knock the game, you can't knock my name. We will never be the same, I'm something you can't tame. Evolution is the only time I change. Until then, I'ma stay the same man.
So you wanna be the boss? Go and try me. You wanna be the man? Go and try me. Oh, you wanna take it there? Go and try me. So you think you ain't scared? Go and try me. So you wanna be the boss? Go and try me. You wanna be the man? Go and try me. So you wanna take it there? Go and try me. Oh, you think you ain't scared? Go and try me.
Got 'em wishing they was Nobi, ooh, you lying if you not. Bet they Instagram your homie, put a body in the box. So he rap a little different, is he fire, is he not? It's official, they gon' get you, take a foul off the block. Okay, I'm reloaded, get the posing like we focus, get the flashing, no Adobe, get the snapping like a photo. Got the dog going local, run up on him, it's a no-go. You be crazy if you thought I wouldn't flex in my kimono. Dress a little different, I impress a little different. Ayo, girl on my line, cause you know what she was missing. Got some diamonds I ain't wearing, cause I shine without assistance. What that mean? That means I don't gotta try for your attention. Freak AD, yo, I miss you. Holla, we gon' pull up, what's the issue? I said, Freak AD, yo, I miss you. Nobi in the dog, it's official.
So you wanna be the boss? Go and try me. You wanna be the man? Go and try me. Oh, you wanna take it there? Go and try me. So you think you ain't scared? Go and try me. So you wanna be the boss? Go and try me. You wanna be the man? Go and try me. So you wanna take it there? Go and try me. Oh, you think you ain't scared? Go and try me. Be calm in the building.
It's easy.
Nobi on deck.
What's up?
Hi, my name is Tina Green, and I enjoy Ohio Media School because of the staff. They are really helpful and encouraging, and the students. What I plan on doing next is videographer and podcast, and just working on my dreams and see where I go. Bye for now.
We are back on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artist, and this is Big C in the morning. Alright, time for our second topic of the day. And this is going to be about what's coming up in a few months. So, Black Friday is coming up. It's in November. It's 2 months away, but hey, it's just right around the corner. Just right around the corner. And what the biggest items here for this holiday are two video game consoles that everybody is wanting to have to own. And that is the Xbox Series X, the new Xbox, and the PlayStation 5, the new PlayStation. So yeah, PS5 and Xbox Series X. So there are a lot of good games on both consoles, but looking at the prices, it's a real game changer. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. So let's start off with Xbox. So the Xbox Series X, it's gonna be $500. It's a brand new console. It has better quality graphics. It's a lot of money that a lot of people are gonna spend on, and you obviously people are gonna do this for the graphics because looking at the Xbox Series X graphics, they look amazing. They look pretty amazing. But yeah, it's gonna cost you about $500, and the PlayStation 5, it's gonna cost you $500 as well. So both standard consoles are costing about $500. And it's all about them high quality premium 4K graphics, people. High quality 4K, 8K. There's so much quality in there. Like what happened to 1080p? Like what happened to that? They just stopped using 1080p graphics and went up all the way to 4K, probably to 8K. Because to tell you the truth, people, the graphics on both consoles are pretty astounding for what the technology they have to use with. And the Xbox kind of looks like a box. It looks like a box if you like the Xbox is vertical. It almost, I think they're trying to copy like the Nintendo Wii back in 2006. I don't know why. But yeah. And also the PlayStation 5, I feel like it's trying to copy the Wii too, because both systems are vertical and not horizontal. And at the PlayStation 5, it looks like something out of Star Wars, or maybe even WALL-E. Even WALL-E, probably. So, yeah, apparently, the PlayStation 5 console, it looks ugly. I'm sorry for all you PlayStation fans, but that console looks ugly. It is ugly, people. Like, seriously, but the Xbox Series X, it looks normal. PlayStation 5 looks like something from the year 2875. And yes, I did make like a futuristic reference. But seriously, that console looks so weird. That PlayStation 5 console, but the Xbox Series X looks normal. Looks like a regular video game console. So yeah, you could play your PlayStation 5 or your Xbox Series X vertical or just plain horizontal. And even when the PS5 looking horizontal, it still doesn't look right. It still does not look right. Like, I feel like it's using too much excess plastic. Like, I feel like the consoles, like the PS5, it's just all plastic. Like, well, some of it is plastic, but some of it has the hardware in it to make the PlayStation 5, work. But I can guarantee you guys that it is 85% plastic and 15% hardware. Because the PlayStation 5, my God, people, that is one ugly looking video game console. And I'm sorry, but I will not be playing NASCAR or any sports game on that console. So yeah, basically, don't play your games on a PlayStation 5. While the console itself probably, does good, the design, ugly. So that's why you should get a standard Xbox. Just a standard Xbox Series X. So yeah. But other than, the Series X coming out and the PlayStation 5 coming out, they both also have digital versions of them coming out. So basically what a digital console is, digital consoles do not take any discs. So if you want to play a game, you have to buy it from like the Xbox store. You can't buy it from GameStop, Walmart, Target on like a disc. So physical copies will not work on the Xbox or PlayStation 5 digital consoles. You can only buy digital games from the Xbox store. So yeah, but I heard like physical copies for the Series X and the PlayStation 5 are going to be up another $10. So it's going to be from $59.99 to about $69.99. So that's a $70 game plus tax. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, why would you raise the price of video games up by that much? Now, hear me out, people. Hear me out, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's take it back down to 2003. So, DVDs are becoming a thing now, and they're putting, like, games on DVDs. Usually, they put, like, when the PlayStation came out, and, like, Sega Saturn and Dreamcast came out, they were using discs. But not just any kind of discs. They were doing CDs, yes, compact discs, because it could hold so much more than like a floppy disk or a cartridge. So they put games on CDs, and they continued to do this until like 2003. They actually still do put games on CDs, but only a select few games on CDs. So they still use CDs, but they mainly went to discs. So when DVDs started to become a thing, they priced the games on DVDs at around $39.99. So it'd be a $40 game. A $40 game. Perfectly new. And then when like, you know, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, and the Wii came out, it went up to like $49.99. So it went up $10. And then when the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the Wii U plus the Nintendo Switch came out, they priced those games at $59.99. And now, since these two new consoles are coming out, guess what? It's $69.99. Like, seriously, why do you have to increase $10 when a next-gen console comes out? Like, seriously, why? It's annoying, people. You should not, increase the price of your games just because they're on a physical disc. But I did hear from a friend, my friend Travis Pittman. He told me that the reason why they're pricing them so high is because it's hard to make the discs. And I'm like, what? Like, seriously, how hard can it be to make a disc? All you gotta do is just, find some good material and just make a disc. Do whatever. Jeez. I mean, seriously. It's annoying. And besides, I don't think Nintendo's prices are going to go up because they're still using cartridges. Like, seriously. Nintendo is a very, very confusing company. They started out using cartridges for the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Super Nintendo, and the N64. And during that time with the Nintendo 64, like, PlayStation and, like, the Dreamcast were using, discs. Well, actually, I didn't think the Dreamcast came out yet, but it was the Saturn. So yeah, the Sega Saturn, PlayStation, they were using discs, and the Nintendo 64 still cartridges. But then Nintendo finally made the switch to discs, but they were mini discs. Like, seriously, they'd be like small discs, like this size, and it would play somehow. Don't know how they got those small discs. But yeah, the GameCube came out for the Nintendo when they used small discs. And then they finally manned up and decided to release a console that actually used a real DVD disc. And somehow it did great with the consumers, beating out the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Shocking. Pretty shocking. And then, they went with discs again for the Wii U. It failed, and then they decided to go back to cartridges with the Nintendo Switch. It's confusing, but hey, what are you gonna do? But anyways, back to Xbox Series X versus PlayStation 5. The digital versions for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. The digital version of the Series X is actually called the Series S. Kind of like the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X. Get it? You probably don't get it. But yeah, the Xbox Series S is a pretty small console. The smallest Xbox in the history of Xboxes. So, the Xbox Series S is going to be priced around $300, which is pretty cheap. Well, $200 cheaper. And guess how much PlayStation is, marketing their digital PlayStation 5? Guess what? Guess how many? It's not $300. It's $400. It's basically the same console, but without the disc drive. So basically, you're taking $100 away. So basically, you're saving $100 without a disc drive on the PlayStation 5. And the reason why the Xbox Series S is much cheaper than the digital PlayStation 5 is because the Series S is so small that it doesn't have that much hardware in it. So basically, it's much more profitable for the consumer to buy. So basically, you're all in the good, all cool. So yeah, if you want a digital console, definitely get the Xbox Series S. It costs less, and it's more fun. And besides, the controller, oh boy, the controller on the PlayStation 5, what is that even? It's not DualShock, it's like Dual something, I don't know. They got rid of the DualShock controller name. Now it's just Dual something. Dual Storm? It's pretty lame name. Well, you can just call the Xbox Series X controllers the Xbox Series X controllers. Simple name. Simple name. Now we're going to get to the good stuff. The games. The confirmed Xbox games for each console. Basically the console exclusives and the games that are on both consoles. So for Xbox, the confirmed console games, the confirmed console exclusive games are Halo Infinite, which kind of looks like something from, a PC game, but I think they're going to do way better when it finally comes out sometime. Fable, which is some kind of witchcraft game. I tried to understand some of it, but it was confusing. So, and also was released before, so this is like a remake of the original. State of Decay 3, which is a sequel to the first two. Haven't really played those games because money issues. Forza Motorsport, which is, I believe, the 8th Forza game, but I think they're rebooting the whole series, so Forza Motorsport is getting a reboot. Pretty nice, but I wish to call it Forza 8. Because honestly, we need to keep track of these Forza games. There's so many Forza games. Yeesh. And then finally, Tetris Effect Connected. Now, I think that's a Tetris game. If you haven't played Tetris, please play some Tetris. It's a fun time. Bring the whole family down. It's a pretty fun time. Now for the PlayStation 5 games that are exclusive only on the PlayStation 5. the new Spider-Man game, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, I saw the amazing things on the first Spider-Man game, like Spider-Man. And I thought that game looked so good. I really wanted to play that game, but it was only on PS4. I mean, what does Xbox have? The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't want to play The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I want to play Marvel's Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4. They need to make those games that are like PlayStation exclusives on Xbox. They need to do something like that. Because honestly, as an Xbox person, it's pretty sad that I can't play Spider-Man. It's pretty lame. Pretty lame. It's lame. So yeah, Spider-Man Miles Morales is coming out, and I saw the trailer for this game, and oh my god, it probably will do better than the first game, than the first Spider-Man. So yeah, definitely will do better than the first Spider-Man. Demon's Souls, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, which is basically the Devil May Cry 5 that you played on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but it has more content. So yeah. Astro's Playroom, which uses which is using the features of the new PlayStation controller. Sackboy from, if you don't know who Sackboy is, he's from Little Big Planet. If you've never played Little Big Planet, it's a PlayStation game that has the main character Sackboy. So yeah, Sackboy's getting his own game called Sackboy: A Big Adventure, and then a new God of War game, God of War Ragnarok. Man, they're making so many God of War games now. When it was just, God of War 1, 2, and 3, and then they stopped making it, and then, oh, hey, we're rebooting it and stuff, and yeah. But yeah, here are some of the confirmed games for both consoles. Madden NFL 21 and NBA 2K21. Obviously, they're going to be some pretty good games. But a lot of people are hating on Madden 21. When that game releases on the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 I know players will change their mind. Video game players will change their mind about it. Black Ops Cold War. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which is the new Call of Duty game. I'm definitely going to get it. But not now because money issues. A new Harry Potter game coming out. Crazy. Hogwarts Legacy. It's going to be released on both consoles. Final Fantasy 16. So many Final Fantasy games. So little time. The new Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 8 Village. I am super psyched for that game. I played all of them but 3. I have played every single Resident Evil game except for the other games like Code Veronica and Umbrella Chronicles. I haven't played those games. But the main series, like 0 through 7, I played except for 3. I played all the main series except for Resident Evil 3. Sad. And a pretty highly anticipated game for both consoles, Cyberpunk 2077. So yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 is a GTA-like game, but in the future. And a lot of people were psyched about this game. Will I get it? Maybe. Who knows? It just depends if I have money. Which I kind of do. I do need money. And you guys have money. I could really use some. Just kidding. But anyways, that's it for the video games and stuff. So yeah. Now it's time for us to take another break. And when we come back, we're giving a Friday shout out. And you do not want to miss it. So yeah, don't miss it. Anyways, this is Big C in the Morning on WUDG, Underground Columbus, home of the Unsigned Artists. We're taking a break. And let's put some P-Dot on. So yeah, here's Tonight by P-Dot. P. Dot. We'll be right back.
Yeah, yeah, P Dot music. A little song for y'all to ride to. I really wanna know if you down to go and hook up, baby. 'Cause baby, I've been feeling you and wanna know if you wanna link with me tonight. I really wanna know if you down to go and hook up, baby. 'Cause baby, I've been feeling you and wanna know if you wanna link with me tonight. Tonight, 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 till this last fall. Been grinding all day, it's time to have a ball. It's an after work affair. Switch gears, me and my girlfriends. We pouring up, leaving the drama. In the good bins, we living in the moment. We got it, so let's flaunt it. I see him, me, I ballin'. He looking like he want it. Yeah, we downtown, sipping a little brown. Toast to the ladies, pour up some cranberry and apple crown. We clink the glasses and I scan the crowd. I see this handsome young man staring me down. I know that look anywhere, I toss a little smile. Ain't never been an easy win, I like to play a while. He finally stepped and gave some conversation. Researched my cocktail, leaned in to smell my fragrance. I see he's so intrigued, constantly toss a line. He said, I ain't gon' lie, I wanna leave with you tonight.
Chops got hits.
I wanna know if you down to go and hook up, baby. 'Cause baby, I've been feeling you and wanna know if you wanna leave with me tonight. I really wanna know if you down to go and hook up, baby. Oh yeah. 'Cause baby, I've been feeling you and wanna know if you wanna leave with me tonight.
So baby, what the deal? I'm trying to see what's real. Yeah. Tell your girlfriends that you're leaving with me tonight. We can just chill, or we can get real.
Chops got hits.
All I know is that you're leaving with me tonight.
Ain't no crying, no little bump and grind. He said let's pull a dip fool just this one time. Leave your car parked, let's hop in mine and shine. We checked in, it's all net from the foul line. Swoosh. Yeah, he said he's safe with me. I said I bet I have your ass loving the P. That period. 'Cause when we get the frame rocking, ain't no stopping, come and leave with me tonight.
Chops got hits.
I wanna know if you down to go and hook up, baby.
Oh yeah.
Baby, I've been feeling you and wanna know if you wanna link with me
Let's
tonight.
go.
Know if you down to go and hook up, baby.
Oh
Baby, I've been feeling you and wanna know if you wanna link with me tonight.
Chops got hits.
Tonight, 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 tonight,
Oh yeah.
tonight, tonight,
Yeah.
tonight, tonight.
Tonight. Oh.
Chops got hits.
What I love about the Ohio Media School is the dreams, the stories I got to tell and create, and the people that I got to meet. I want to do everything that I can to use my creative talents to make the world a better place. And I want to thank everyone that's helped me through this whole entire journey, because I couldn't have done it without the support of my team and the school and my family and the people that love me. That's all I got.
We're back on WDG Underground, Columbus, home of the unsigned artist, and we are back with Big C in the morning. So, yeah. So, today's Friday shout out, well, this week's Friday shout out, is going to be going to the Big Ten college football parents. specifically Nebraska and Ohio State, because they really want their kids to play football. I really wanted them to play, the players to play football. I supported these parents forcing the Big Ten to get their act together and play some football. Because honestly, people, as a Buckeye fan and as a college football fan, I deserve football. And if I don't get it, I've got nothing to do on Saturdays. Seriously. I've got no dates to go on. I've got no people to meet up with. I've got nothing. So, thankfully, these parents from Nebraska and Ohio State did something about it. They told the Big Ten that they were going to protest this. And if they didn't get football and didn't see their kids play for possibly the final time or the first time, or the second time or the third time, they were going to trash the Big Ten and talk about how crummy it is. Because let me tell you, the Big Ten is a little crummy. It's looking like a dumpster fire over there. The Big Ten is looking like a huge dumpster fire. But thankfully, everything went to plan. The parents filed lawsuits. Well, technically Nebraska filed lawsuits. Ohio State, they didn't do any lawsuits, but they could have. We could have lawsuited them. And, yeah. Basically, we've got Big Ten football back thanks to these parents and all the fan support that has been getting to the Big Ten's ears. And finally, we now have some good old Ohio State football and Big Ten football that we can now watch as we see our favorite teams take the field in October 24th, which is another month away. But still, at least I will get some football. I will now have things to do on a Saturday. And I will be happy. Unless my mom tells me I have to go get a job, that I might not be able to watch any Buckeye football games. So, yeah. But oh well. So yeah. Again, to the Big Ten parents who wanted to play football, specifically Ohio State and Nebraska, because I didn't see any other teams, families do anything about it. Thank you. Thank you for bringing football back. Because honestly, we needed it. And I needed it. Alright, people. That is my time. I'm going to get out of here and stop boring you for now. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Next week, having a show, new topics to talk about, and hopefully maybe a guest this time. Because sadly there was no guest here today, but I will try to get a guest here probably next week, but who knows? Anything can happen. Really anything can happen. So, yeah. But anyways, folks, that is it. This has been Big C in the Morning on WUDG, Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artist. My name is Big Z, and I am out of here. Ha ha. See y'all next week.